Jessie with Dom backstage, Radio 104.5. Bring. Can you do it, Dom? Bring. Bring. Okay, now put the logo up. Yeah. What's up? Thank you so much for doing this interview.
Oh, you're welcome. How's it going?
Good. Everything's good. You guys were stuck in a little bit of traffic. Was it like Phillies traffic, sports traffic related?
Well, we just drove down from New York.
Okay.
So it wasn't too bad, but we just met some fans, and one of them has just drawn that as pencil.
My God.
Look at that. It looks like a photo.
That's gorgeous. This is done by pencil?
Yeah, it's really good, isn't it? It's not photorealistic.
That's amazing.
And I got a bandana for my dog, Floyd.
Ah, wait. So is that over there? Is that for Floyd, the water bowl and the food?
I don't know what that is. No,
I wasn't sure what.
There's another dog here today, so it could be for someone else.
Oh, this is so cute.
And that's, yeah.
Here.
So we got some gifts.
Awesome. So let's talk about the tour production, because you guys were talking about the tour production for a really long time before the album and everything. Mm-hmm. Can you give us an idea of what we're going to see tonight and the whole tour?
Well, yeah, it's like it's pretty mental. It's like a kind of neon extravaganza, dream, nightmare, everything all wrapped into one. It just seems like it's the most kind of adventurous thing we've ever done with production. We've done quite big things in the past, or like extravagant stuff in extravagant productions in the past, but I didn't think we could ever kind of do anything even more so, and this time it feels like we've done it. So we have like a bunch of performers. We've got 10 performers out with us doing lots of different things during the gig, and and it's very the whole look of it, and the way the set list runs, and the look of the show and the production is very kind of stylized in in the way like the album artwork is, and similar to how some of the music videos that we've made are as well. So it's it looks great. It's pretty nuts. There's a lot going on.
I saw some pictures, and I didn't want to ruin my experience, so I stopped scrolling through my one buddy who saw you guys in DC, but I did see something amazing on the stage, and I was like,
this big thing.
It was like that. It was exactly like that.
Yeah. That's always a surprise. You see people's faces when it happens. Everyone's like,
I know. That's what my face was like when I was looking at my phone. I was like, okay, so Simulation Theory is out. Talk to me about, you guys released a couple songs before you even decided on an album. What are your thoughts? Do you like releasing songs or just full-on albums, or what do you think's a better method? Or
I don't know what a better method is these days. I think just putting out music is what we like to do. So I think this time round, we released quite a few songs up front of the album coming out, which we were kind of just releasing them as and when they were ready.
Yeah.
So it just felt like a different way of doing it, rather than saving it all up for the album. I mean, as far as what's good, what's right and wrong, who knows these days? I mean, it's just
that's my next.
Just putting out music is exciting.
So it's exciting, but is it also in 2019 as a musician? Is it a stressful time to? Is it a stressful experience to make music in 2019 as a musician?
Well, I don't think it's stressful. I mean, I think it depends on what your palette of instrumentation is. But I think it's music's changing all the time, and I think as musicians we've always taken influence from different things, different styles of music, things that are current, things from the past, all over the place. So I find it's not stressful. I think it's exciting because music's evolving and changing all the time. So there's new and different things to be inspired by. But it's not stressful. I mean, it's kind of been fun. It's we're already talking about what we're going to do in the future and looking forward to that. So I think next year we're going to be touring for most of this year, and then next year we're already talking about working on ideas and stuff. So it'll be fun.
Different trends for music. In 2019, things are a little different now. You can do sampling, you can do everything computer based versus an actual musician making the music with an actual instrument. Was it hard for you maybe as a musician to kind of understand that that's kind of where things are going? Because you guys blended both in this album. You did that human element and also some of that programming element. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Were you did you resist in the beginning? I don't like this. I'm more of a drum guy. I don't want to do any of that. Or were you kind of open to all of it?
No, I don't resist anything.
I like that. It's so important.
No, not at all. I mean, we've definitely worked in a slightly different way of working this time round than we have in the past. I mean, it was a less traditional way of recording a band, I suppose, the way we did things this time, and definitely getting deep and using technology a lot more than we ever have. But no, I mean, I love playing the drums, but I just like making music in the studio and like doing what's best for whatever feels right, or what's best for the song, or what's, you know, the most interesting way of finding that sound. So I'm not precious about actually playing the drums in the studio.
I like that.
I always do, but I've always enjoyed layering things up, particularly from like a drums and percussion point of view anyway. And even like going way, I mean, in the very early days, it used to be a bit more just us playing in a room, but sometimes it's hard to really control, you know, the levels of all the different instruments involved with that. So it can end up being, you know, just one thing and you can't really do anything to it. Whereas kind of separating things out and having more control over the instruments and how they sound is a more contemporary way of working. And we've kind of been doing similar things like that going back anyway. Like I'd often like work on the drum parts, would play them live, but then, you know, I'd end up going, okay, well, let's scrap that, and kind of recording it all individually or separated and adding layers and things like that. So
I think that's so important. I always other musicians, some bands, and they're just like, they don't want to embrace anything that's new. They don't want to do anything like that. They're stuck in their ways, and I kind of like to ask musicians.
I think the big question is what's happening to rock music.
I know.
I think that's what you're asking.
I think so, but I don't want to ask that
and I don't know.
generic
No
question.
one knows.
I don't even know what it is.
This is a rock radio, is it?
Yeah, alternative rock.
Alternative.
So something that is kind of like that, but
no,
off.
I think music's changing all the time. You know, it's definitely evolving into more, you know, the alt world.
Right.
Used to be alternative from what was popular in the top 40 charts, essentially. So, you know, now the alt world is certainly not just about, you know, distorted guitars and bass and drums.
Yep.
Things evolve, things change, and then there's a snap. Everything always gets too watered down at some point, and then something will change. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what's happening in rock music. It's you know, I think rock, you know, the style, the genre is something that hasn't been, you know, as popular as it has been in the past. But I think rock, you know, is more of an attitude thing rather than just stylistically. It's more of a, like, something that's rock and roll to me is about attitude and vibe, and not really necessarily about the sound of a snare drum.
Well, let's talk about your drums. There's the 808 drum, I think, on Thought Contagion. Didn't you wanted it to be kind of like a different drum when it started, and then you guys went with the 808? I think I read somewhere you wanted it to be like more of an arena rock sound, and then you guys kind of switched that at the end. Was that
Thought Contagion?
Was it Thought Contagion?
Oh, I don't know. We've used
You
some
did
808s
a lot. Let's talk
yeah.
about Thought Contagion, though. Did it start as maybe something else and then evolve into something different?
Yeah, it did. I think it was, I mean, you know, most tracks, I mean, that track definitely started out more kind of just like the band playing, and then we kind of, you know, deconstructed it somewhat, and then, you know, treated the verses very differently to the kind of big choruses. You know, we wanted the verses to be a bit more kind of programmed and almost more like, you know, hip hop influenced in the groove, and then it kind of kicked back into this more kind of riff rock based thing for the choruses. But yeah, that's that. But yeah, it's hard to know where you go in the studio. You follow a path, and then you think you find the right one, and then you carry on until everyone's happy, and that's when it's finished.
I like that. I like that a lot.
I mean, that's normally the way it works. And sometimes you have a very fixed idea of what something should be and what you want it to sound like, and then other times you've got no idea, but somehow you discover it along the way. So, or you think you've got an idea, and then it's completely different in the end. So, it's a weird world making music. So you just, you know, you kind of lose yourself and see what happens.
I'm serious. All the bands out there that like have so many issues in studio together, like, no, it's supposed to be like, take it from him, please. This is the way it needs to be. Just follow it. Just vibe with it. Figure it out. Talk to me about the deluxe editions, because I guess there's probably some tracks on there that are maybe the way that you guys wanted it to sound and like switched it up. I think there's UCLA the marching band is on a deluxe edition. What do we need to know?
Well, yeah, they're just, you know, as you said, they're just like alternative versions of the tracks. Yeah, the UCLA marching band thing was just a bit of a random idea, because we had some guys come in and play the horn part for that song Pressure, and you know, when we were just recording them, it just sounded like that kind of, you know, that school band kind of
epic.
big marching drumline band or whatever it is, and it just sounded like that. And then I think one of the guys was like, oh yeah, every school band is going to be playing this around the country when it comes out or something. And then I think straight away we're like, yeah, it'd be cool to do an actual version. And I think actually the band in LA, the UCLA band, did a whole like Muse kind of tribute halftime show or something at one of their football games, and we'd seen this before, and they were playing lots of older songs, and it just sounded mental. So yeah, we did that. That was fun. Recorded it in LA. Yeah, what else did we do? Some are more kind of the more stripped back versions, like Propaganda and Something Human. They're more kind of the more closer to what probably the demo was.
That's
but,
cool.
It had something nice about it. Dig Down is a good one as well, because that's that's an older song now, but I mean ultimately that's a very kind of bluesy gospel song anyway, but we produced it in a much more kind of electronic sounding way. So that version is actually the version we're going to be doing tonight on stage.
Ooh.
So it's quite a different version, but it's I suppose it's the kind of the core of what the song originally was, so we wanted to put those versions out as well.
I like when fans get to hear that kind of stuff. Yeah. Well, thank you. We're excited.
Thanks.
We'll see you on stage in like an hour, maybe?
Pretty soon.
Pretty soon.
8:45 p.m.
Yes. Yeah. Awesome. Dom, Howard, backstage, Jessie, Muse, rock on. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.